Hey everybody, Tony, Pressure Washing Depot, located here in Homosassa, Florida. Got on the topic of discussion the other day where a person was going to discount their prices for the promise of another job or more jobs down the line. They had a contractor, summarize the story. The person was promised by a contractor, says, hey, if you do these complexes here for X number of dollars, then I promise you that I'll get you more work, And a lot of times commercial people will do that to you. It's like, well, hey, I promise you that if you do this one little section here, I'll give you this an additional 50, 60,000 square foot or linear feet of concrete curbing, whatever, and then it seems like it just normally never pans out, So the topic of discussion that today that I'd like to cover is like, do you discount your services to get additional work? And the thing that we found when we were in the field, story of one of the times that I did something like that, or I was about to. I actually had a quote for the HOA that I live in, and they're like, hey, we want you to give us a quote, such and such, blah, blah, blah. So I went in on my terms, I went in extremely cheap because I really wanted to just kind of I felt I was doing something good for my community, and I knew that if I did the work, if I got the job, then I would be like set up with our community. And so I went in at a super discounted rate where I was basically just paying for my guys' time and the solution, so where normally I'll charge 12 to 14 cents a square foot for flat work. I know some of you guys in other states, you think that's cheap, but this is Florida. And this is 4 or 5 years back, so I went in instead of, 12, 14 cents a square foot, I went in at 6 cents a square foot because I felt that I was doing something good for our community. I was informed that I was the highest bidder on this job. At 6 cents a square foot, I was the highest bidder. So the HOA owner's like, yeah, if you could come down a few more cents, whatever, we'll give you additional blah, blah, blah. I just I told her in a really nice professional way that I'm just not interested. I had already discounted my price down about 6 to 8 cents a square foot, down to where I was going to be doing the work for about 6 cents a square foot. And I was told that I was the highest bidder. So even with the promise of getting more work, I was still not going to be breaking even. I was basically going to pay to go to work. But you'll have these people that they'll ask you, hey, I promise you that if you get such and such and I'd love to say, hey, trust is a great thing, but when it comes to your business, professionalism is one thing, trust is another thing, friendships are another thing. But, when a person promises you that they're going to get something, make sure you say, hey, would you write that down on paper for us? If they're not willing to sign that in a contract, they're bullshitting you. There's only way I can put it. There's only one way I can say that. Is they're leading you on. They're putting the carrot before the horse. They're trying to get that work at a discounted rate. Every great now and then you might have someone that'll honor that word, but most of the time it's just this cheap ass that's trying to get discounted rate from you, and you're going to go up there with that expectation and that hope that you get all this additional work. And when you're done and you get that payday, they're going to try that same tactic on someone else. I've seen it way too many times in the field. It doesn't always happen that way, so if you really want to get jobs this way, ask them something simple. Hey, would you write it down? Can you put it on paper? 99% of the time, I almost guarantee they're not willing to put it on paper. And if they're not willing to write it down that they're going to give you this additional work for X number of cents per square foot, dollars per square foot, whatever, then it's more than likely BS. So there's my thought for the day, So hopefully that helps some of you guys in the field that are getting into it. If you have something that smells fishy, it's probably fish. If somebody says, hey, I'm going to do such and such for you, if they're not willing to write it down, it's just fluff, So check out our website, Pressure Washing Depot, pressurewashingdepot.com, and like, subscribe, tell all your friends about us. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.